Are you stupid or something? You probably are, and buddy, that's alright. You're in the right place to learn some stuff, so stick around and you just might. My name is Notme, and I'll be asking some Q's, and at the end you'll be riddled with A's. You might score real high, but even if not, you'll sure be glad you played. If you're looking for prizes, just move along, there's no money for you to earn. You win by trying and doing your best, your prize is the stuff you learn. If you want to be an artiste, you have to know all you can about the world of art. So engage with this quiz, and at the end you'll say, I am smart.
I am not me. I am art. And I am your host for I Am SmART, the quiz where people look to improve their art through learning and strive to earn the right to say, I am smart. Format of the quiz, very simple, very straightforward. 3 rounds of questions, 3 musings, and a bonus 2-point round at the end. There's 20 points overall up for grabs. All you're going to need for this quiz, something to write with, something to write on, a brain for thinking, and an imaginosphere for imagining. Both will be tested here. Optional is a beverage, because even though it doesn't relate to the quiz in any way, shape, or form, we do like to kick things off with a toast. So here we go. Here we go. Are we ready? Here we go. Beverages at the ready, everybody. Here we go. To the Eurovision Song Contest, who this week banned Russia from competing at the 2022 competition due to their invasion of and hostilities towards Ukraine. And in doing so, taught us this week that we can all make a difference in this conflict. Didn't think things through, did you, Mr. Putin? Even if you manage to take over Ukraine, you're not going to be able to take part in Europe's most prestigious singing competition. What price victory, huh? To the Eurovision Song Contest. Wow. We made it. Here we are. Let's see all the gorgeous people that we've got in our chat. Hello, Smarties. How are you? How's the hair going? How's the hair going? TB, good morning to you. Killer Kilch, good day all. And Lucy, yep. Lucy Lou, wherever you are, my sweetheart. I hope you're having a lovely day. Sarah Kilch, hello to you. Cameraman George, deigned to show up this week. That's nice. That's a good sign. Definitely not Duda. Hello to you. Hope you're over that TB. I'm not me, iamart. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up, Killer. You'll notice that I'm without my bedazzlement this week. Sometimes you just don't feel like it. You know, sometimes I have been stricken with an illness this week. My nose has been very creative, I suppose. As is my, throat. Been feeling very ill. It could be a bad cold. Could be tuberculosis, as I speculated earlier this week on social media. Could be lupus. I don't really know what lupus is, but so it could be. It could be. Sometimes you've got to keep it cozy. Definitely not due to that. That is absolutely correct. That is absolutely correct. So we're keeping it cozy. I've had a lovely a Theraflu. Seems like the American equivalent of a Lemsip over here. Consumption could be the croup. Could be some kind of out of water the bends. Could be dengue fever. Who knows? I haven't been to a doctor, so because last time they charged me $20,000. So we're keeping it cozy. We're going to keep it cozy. But that's no excuse to not keep it creative and challenging. So we're pushing forward with the quiz. A lot of people would have said, do you know what? No quiz this week. I'm infirm. I need to convalesce. Oh no, that's in shot now. I need to recover. Not me. So we're going to get on with it. We're going to crack on. We've got our rounds. Let's see what the rounds we've got. Let's see the rounds we've got this week. What are our potential rounds here? Yay or nay, spotlight, nart, who dat artiste, odd one out, movie ladder, iconic art, anagram ding dong, not me would, look close, haikus day, and song lyrics making its triumphant return after a week off last week because we'd had it for the 2 prior weeks. Similarly, we had Red Herring and Gimme 5 the last 2 weeks, so let's just give them a rest. Have I written rounds for them? Yeah, I did. I put the work in, and I've written those rounds as well. So we have 14 rounds prepared for this week, but we're leaving them out for this week. We're keeping them on the bench. They've done very well. We're very proud of them, but sometimes, you need to give everybody else a chance. We've got our round selector. We've got our official I'm Smart the Notme quiz round selector. But first, we must turn, of course, to the high point scorer of last week's quiz. And those of you who are watching will remember that it was Definitely Not Duda with an historic victory. 19 out of the 20 points went straight to Definitely Not Duda. Very, very exciting. Very, very exciting indeed. So Definitely Not Duda will have the choice of any of these rounds to guarantee them being in the quiz. So definitely, whenever you want, let us know what round you are interested in. We'll start up this music. As you notice, sometimes the EDM takes a bit of time to get in. Definitely Not Duda straight in with Notme Wood. It's been a while, Notme Wood. It's been a while. Hooray for Notme Wood. Fantastic, which means we've got 2 more rounds to pick from this. 2 more rounds to pick. Let's do this. EDM. Sorry, I didn't pick the right thing. We've got our eggs. Let's do it. This. I've opened one. And this. Yeah, I messed up that. Got not again a triumphant return, and we have Spotlight, not me Wood. What an incredible round this is going to be. Music was a little disappointing there, but I will take some of the blame for that. Some of the blame, not all of the blame, but some of the blame. Now let's have a look. What are the musings? Let's try and... Okay, yeah, that one's pretty good. What else did we have? Not Me Would. Oh, that's pretty good as well. What was the other one? Nart. Okay, let's kick it off with some Nart, guys. Let's do this. I will apologise. You will have noticed a little cough there. A little cough. If any coughs crop up, you have my apologies. It is a natural part of the illness process. I've got to take these things off. Sometimes there may be a little bit of this, a little bit of this. You're just going to have to bear with me, guys. You're just going to have to bear with me. Guys, I wouldn't have enjoyed Don Quixote anywhere near as much had Miguel de Cervantes not been so knowledgeable about the terrible affliction of dry brain. A lot of people you meet on the streets of New York, dry brains, very quick to anger. Dry, yeah? Like biscuits. And I feel like saying to them, guys, read Don Quixote. But they've already stormed off. Artists need to know about the world around them, not just art, so I present this round about not art. Nart. Not. But what Nart topic are we dealing with this week, guys? We are dealing with big cats. Oh, what's that font? This is how long it's been since we did American Typewriter Condensed Bold. No. Semi-bold maybe. Yeah, let's do semi-bold. Big cats. There we go. So we're gonna learn all about big cats. Or we're going to see how much you know about big cats. Let's go question 1, guys. Feels good. 12-16. We're doing it. Which big cat is the biggest big cat? I mean, it's got to be the first question, hasn't it? It's the only question that deserves to start around about big cats. Which big cat is the biggest big cat? Is the biggest big cat, I say. Oh, it's that one. I've got the answers over there, but you can't see them. You can't see them, otherwise that would spoil the whole thing. Thank you, cameraman George. for bringing in the instructions. Wonderful. Doing a great job. Doing a very good job there, cameraman George. Thank you so much. Things work smoother when you're here. I'll say that. That's as far as I'll go today. Question number 2. Which big cat is the fastest land animal? Is this one a bit easy? This one might be a bit easy, mightn't it? But maybe it's a trick. Maybe the one that you think it is not. I think you'll know this one, though. I think you'll know it. Question number 3. The Greeks and the Romans believed the giraffe to be a freak hybrid between a camel and which big cat? This one might have to be a little bit of guesswork. The Greeks and the Romans, who we credit for a whole heck of a lot of stuff, but yet they believed the giraffe to be a freak hybrid between a camel and which big cat? Oh, I was going to do this live, wasn't I? On the TikToks. So this week I've started on the TikToks. I've done a couple of... I've paid for a couple of promotions on TikTok. Just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. Just to see how... And the posts have gone gangbusters. Which shows that if you put good art in front of people, they will recognize it. It's just social media, I guess. Social meds. It's a tough world. Question number 4. All of these names refer to the same species of big cat, except one. What's the odd one out? Cougar, puma, mountain lion, lynx, panther. Girl Sarah Kilch, I'm so glad my favourite VHS, for all the younger people out there, VHS stands for video cassette tape, as a kid was growing up Wildcats. Well, see? Very Slumdog Millionaire. People say, my gosh, you Girl Sarah Kilch, how did you manage to absolutely ace that NART round? Little flashback, watching the VHS. Mother, can I get a different VHS? Mother says no. And at the time you thought, but I want a collection of New Kids on the Block's music videos. She said, no, you're watching the Big Cats. And you said, Mother, that's annoying. But Mum knows best. Definitely not Duda. You've been preparing for this our whole life. It's early on the West Coast. Absolutely fine, definitely. Absolutely fine. And number 5, which perfume company makes Obsession, the scent used by scientists and conservationists the world over to entice big cats for study? This is an interesting fact I found out whilst researching this round. Something about Obsession by a particular perfume company, perfumery, is used. Something about it, big cats flippin' love it. So you can spray it somewhere and it'll just attract big cats. And it doesn't work with any other perfume. Very, very strange. Very, very strange. This is one of those types of questions. I'm gonna hold my hands up. I'm gonna give you a peek behind the curtain. I largely put this one in just to tell you about that fact. So at the end of the quiz, when you encounter somebody and they say, "Hey, what did you learn on Sunday?" As I assume a lot of people do, perhaps over the week on Monday when you go back to work, and colleagues say, "Hey, what did you learn over the weekend? What even did you learn?" And you can say, "Well, I learned that obsession is used to study big cats. What did you learn?" And they'll say, "Nothing. Just like went out and danced to music with my friends." You're like, pfft. Should have watched I Am Smart, the Notme quiz. That's always the answer. And there we go. 5 questions done. Is that the end of the round? No. There's an M. We still got that musing. Still got that musing. Where is the musing? Did I not put a musing in here? Oh, my word. No, topics is the big cats, isn't it? Well, that's terrible. Sosaflow 19. I think I wore Obsession when I was 13. Well, you're very lucky you didn't walk into any big cat enclosure, because they would have been all over you. And let me tell you, that's attention that you just don't want, because they're big enough to claw your face clean off. Clean off. So we're going to have to do this one pretty quickly, but that's fine. That's fine. We'll rename this. You can just talk amongst yourselves if you want. I would be annoyed with myself, but it was me so long ago that it's like, you know, when you notice that a dog has weed inside, but you think, well, this was, you touch the wee and you think, well, this is cold, so this must have been hours ago. I can't tell the dog off for this now. The kind of statute of limitations has expired on it. Right, we're going to have to... No. Let's try that. Okay, yeah, that could work. The musing is... Whoa, that worked. You are gifted the ability to shapeshift into any big cat at will. Which big cat do you pick, and how do you use your newfound ability? Get it in your answers, not in the chat. Not in the chat. Thanks, guys, for talking amongst yourselves, definitely, and Nana. That's lovely. That's lovely work. Raccoon, dog, unicorn. I'll be honest with you, Nana, it's difficult to argue with that. Difficult to argue with that. You are gifted the ability to shapeshift into any big cat at will. Which big cat do you pick? And how do you use your newfound ability? People of a certain age who grew up reading Animorphs books may have been pondering this for some years already, so they may have a ready baked-in answer. You'll let me know now. Although not yet. We'll do it later. We'll do it later. And that's the end of round one, guys. Let's go back to Maine. Let's go back to Maine. Look at that. Look at those rounds. Nart done. Feels good to get a Nart out of the system, doesn't it? It's been just kind of trapped in there. Like trapped wind. And you think, is that polite, though, to trap your wind? You say, no. You need to let it out. Otherwise it can cause some gastrointestinal stress. Torpor, I was going to say. I'm not entirely sure that was the right usage of it. What round have we got next? What round have we got next? Where do you want? Let's finish up with Notme Wood. Let's go with the spotlight. Let's go with the spotlight. Should we do it? Let's go with the spotlight. Where is the spotlight? Here we go. Spotlight, guys. Here we go. Game recognizes game. As an artiste, you have to be willing to shine a light on the work of other artists and be nice about it. That way, if they want to be polite, they have to say nice stuff about your art. And it's the circle of life all over again. But before we look at who the spotlight falls on in this quiz, we of course have to take a trip. It is tradition at this point. It is tradition to see your favorite and mine, the artiste who puts all other artists to shame. The woman of the moment, it is, of course, Lucy Liu. Hello, Lucy. How are you doing today? Are you well? Everybody, Lucy Liu. Lovely. So fair. Fair Lucy Liu. Here she is. Here she is. What have you been up to this week, Lucy? Lucy has... Yes. No, I've seen it. I've seen it on social media, sharing a lot of stuff about UNICEF. About the terrible things going on in the Ukraine at the moment with those Russians. Those Russians, honestly, just... I mean, in some ways you think, like, you know, it's kind of good because it just brings everybody together, that they're just the world's bad guys. It wouldn't surprise me that North Korea were like, come on, Vlad, do you want to knock it off, pal? Because they're just bringing everybody together, and the Ukrainians standing up for them. You don't think this is the right context to talk about the very real, very tragic conflict in the Ukraine? Okay. You brought it up, Lucy. You brought it up. You just want to tell a joke? Well, I'm not sure I want you to tell a joke, Lucy. I'm not sure I want you to tell a joke. This day, you know, if it's not right to be talking about armed conflict, then is it the right time to be talking about, you know, disgusting jokes? We all know that Lucy has a rather filthy sense of humour for one so fair. As we all know, poop jokes are your favourite. Wait, what's that? What's that? Poop jokes aren't your favourite? Wait. This is very surprising news. I thought poop jokes were your favourite. No, they're not your favourite, but they are a solid number 2. Oh, Lucy! Oh, Lucy, solid number 2. Oh, that's too filthy, isn't it, guys? A solid number 2. Oh, Lucy. Oh, I can't stay angry at her, though. She's too fair. Too fair. Continue doing your fantastic work for UNICEF, Lucy. Continue being our conscience as we move forward in this terrible conflict with the Ukraine. You girl, Sarah Kilch, that's great emote work. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Lucy. Solid number 2. But thank you for stopping by, bringing a little bit of star power to this quiz. Thank you, Lucy. We'll see you next time. There we go. There we go. Lucy's gone now. Lucy's gone now. Everybody still here? Good, good. Let's get on. But who is the spotlight about this week? The spotlight falls on. Now, this was one that I wrote a few weeks ago as a tribute of sorts. Somebody who sadly has left us now, is no longer with us. It is... No, sorry. It's not Meatloaf. Not Meatloaf. It's Meatloaf, okay? That's a picture of Meatloaf. That's a picture of Meatloaf, okay? Maybe we'll just leave them both up. It's a nice backdrop. Almost like angel's wings made of meatloaf. Meatloaf, the hometown hero. He's all about love. He's all about heart. Flying in to save the day with his wings of compressed meats. Killer Kilch should do anything for Meatloaf. Absolutely. Sarah Kilch knows more about Meatloaf than Meatloaf. Well, we'll see. I hope the first one is that one and the second one is that one. That's what I hope. That's what I hope. But let's get on with it. Let's get on with it. Let's learn about Meatloaf. We're getting a fire engine. Let's just wait for the fire engine. Shut up! Honestly, just... I know you're on the way to put out a fire and save lives, but do you want to just keep it down? Peppersaw, hello there. Hello from Fairbanks. I know nothing about any form of Meatloaf. There we go, that's fine. Well, you will do by the end of this. Question number 1. Meatloaf was in 4 musicals over the course of his career. Name any of these musicals. Name any of these musicals. He was a musical theatre performer before he was a singer, actually. Fire engines. Like, they've got the siren, but then they also have a really loud honk as well. And the question I'm sitting there thinking, how many people can't hear the siren that they need the honk as well? How many people are sitting there going, lovely day, isn't it? And so they had to... Pepper Saw, does a certain movie count? Yeah, no. Stage musicals, movie musicals, whatever you like. They are both covered here. I think 2 or 3 of them were from before he came particularly famous. And one of them is after he came particularly famous. Nana Hobbob, I would do anything for Notme. Nana, you've proven that time and again. And I appreciate that. Oh, I'm getting very blocked up. That's a shame. Any musical. And see, this pleases me actually. Pepper Saw, starting off, I know nothing about any form of Meatloaf, and then mere minutes later, does a certain movie count? That says you know something. Pepper Saw. I'm pleased. Meatloaf's most famous album eventually became a trilogy. Oh, that message was supposed to go with... Subscribed for 11 months. Nana. That's absolutely fine. Thank you so much, Nana. Very smart. Getting a little bit of Bezos's money there, guys. A little bit of Bezos's money. A reminder, if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free Prime subscription to any Twitch channel, which really should be this Twitch channel. Yeah? It doesn't cost you anything, and it gives money to me, and it takes money away from Mr. Bezos. So, all good things there. What's the name of Meatloaf's most famous album that eventually became a trilogy of albums? I think you probably know this as one as well if you really dig down. Dig deep down. 11 months. Gosh, it's gone quickly, hasn't it, Nana? It's gone quickly. Number 3. Which goddess of pop provided the vocals for Meatloaf's 1981 hit, Dead Ringer for Love? Which goddess of pop provided the vocals for Meatloaf's 1981 hit, Dead Ringer for Love? This one may be a little bit tricky. This one, maybe if you don't know, you don't know. But goddess of pop is a clue. That is, those words are used deliberately. That was a nickname. SJ Beck 72, well done Notme for making his name 2 words, Meat Loaf. That's how he preferred it. Absolutely. How people choose to be referred to, very important. And I appreciate your appreciation, SJ Beck 72. If he says he wants to be first name Meat, surname Loaf. Absolutely, baby. Who am I to tell him? No, it's actually one word. Meatloaf. No. Mr. Loaf. Thank you for the music. Which goddess of pop provided the vocals for Meatloaf's 1981 hit, Dead Ringer for Love? Question number 4. Meatloaf was associated with several bands across his career. Which of these names have I made up? So all of these are real bands that he was associated with. So these would either be bands that he was a member of, or these would be the names of the bands who he had as his backing people on tour. The Stone Lights, the Neverland Express, Popcorn Blizzard, Floating Circus, or Meat Loaf Soul. Which of those have I just made up? Meatloaf is associated with several bands across his career. Which of these names have I made up? The Stone Lights, the Neverland Express, Popcorn Blizzard, my favourite kind of blizzard, and Floating Circus, or Meatloaf Soul. Gosh, there was an extra one there that I just didn't read. And final question in this round, Meatloaf... Oh, no, I messed up there, didn't I? Had a prominent role in the movie Fight Club. What is his character's first name? Just rectify that. I can't take the credit and then... Meatloaf had a prominent role in the movie Fight Club. What is his character's first name? Now I'll take the longer or the shorter version of that name. There's a little clue there. If you're taking a punt at it, It is a name with a shortened version. It's all kicking off. It's interesting that Mr. Loaf was very keen. It's, hey, don't call me by my real name, call me by Meat Loaf. That's my new name now. Towards the latter part of his life, quite right-wing. Became quite right-wing. I believe he supported President Donald Trump, and a lot of them very upset about the use of preferred pronouns with gender fluidity. Not really on board with that, saying, hey, no, I'm going to, if this is who you are, then I'm going to call you this. You don't get to choose what I call you. Very on board with Meatloaf, not so much with, young transgender teens or gender fluid teens. One wonders, therefore, how many incredible 8-minute long rock songs do these teens have to come out with to earn a little bit of respect. It's interesting. It's interesting when you consider these issues. Those are 5 questions, but we still need a musing. The musing is simply this. Meatloaf's most successful song was 1993's I Would Do Anything for Love, parentheses, but I Won't Do That. In your heart of hearts, what is that Mr. Loaf won't do? What do you think he won't do, guys? Meatloaf's most successful song was 1993's I Would Do Anything for Love, but I Won't Do That. Which is true. More than any of his other songs. That was the one that earned him the most money, most sales. In your heart of hearts, what is that Mr. Loaf won't do? And there we go. That's the second round done. We've only got 1 round to go, guys. And if you enjoy this last round, you've got definitely not a dude to thank, because it was definitely that picked it. Buy your plane tickets for California, guys. We're heading to Notme Wood. Notme Wood. Here we go. Where's the intro to Notme Wood? Here we go. Gosh, there's a lot of intros to get through. What if I, not me, was an actor? I mean, obviously I act, sure. But what if I was an actor, a proper actor, with training and an agent and parents who are both in the industry in some way, thus giving me a huge leg up? Is there a film that I couldn't improve? That's the conceit we're playing with in this round. I have taken someone with whom I would love to co-star, which is this week Meryl Streep, the wonderful Meryl Streep, and I've inserted myself into 5 of her films. All you need to do is to tell me, or write down on your answer sheet, or your phone, or your tablet, or scrawled on the wall in chalk, or something else, I don't know, whatever, whose role I have taken here. Who am I replacing in these film stills? Nana Hobbob, Notme Wood makes for a very sturdy coffee table. That's a great point. Notme Wood would make for a very sturdy coffee table. And a surprising coffee table as well. It'd be the kind of coffee table that would have lots of little drawers and shelves in it that you weren't expecting. Plenty of support to put your legs on the coffee table, or even if you want to just kind of wrap with someone who's sitting in an armchair, sturdy enough for you to sit on. It'll take your weight. Or if you want to just go crazy, if you're having a girls' night in and you're going hard on the Pinot Gris and you want to just get up on the table and dance like silly billies, absolutely you can do that on a Notme Wood coffee table as well. It's dependable. But I would say, with that sturdiness does come weight. So if you are moving it up, into a first floor, second floor, flat or apartment, you want to get some movers around, because you're going to need one person at each end, probably someone steadying it in the middle as well. You can't have one without the other. Can't have one without the other. So let's start off with... Oh, that's an exciting way of doing it. So Meryl Streep, whose role am I taking here? Number 1, from The Prom. From the movie The Prom. We've got Andrew Rannells here, star of Stage and Screen Andrew Rannells. There she is. There's the woman. The woman of the moment, Meryl Streep. At the front, we've got Nicole Kidman, who shows up in front of every AMC movie now with her little vignette. I find it very difficult. I actually have to... Oh, and there's Notme. But whose role have I taken there and improved, in my opinion? IMHO. I find it difficult these days. So basically, for those of you in the UK... Nicole Kidman has recorded this very powerful, very profound musing on cinema and the power thereof, of actually showing up to the cinema. This is for the large American movie chain AMC, movie theatre chain AMC. And this plays before every single AMC movie. It pays to people that have already bought tickets to see a movie in an AMC movie theatre, which makes one wonder, why are we watching this? If you're telling us that we should really come to the cinema when we're already in the cinema. It's an interesting approach to advertising. But it's so powerful and says so much that I find sometimes when I'm watching movies at home, it just helps for me to get that little video up on my phone and just have a little watch through that. Just so you say, because in here, it is. And then we start the film. Just so, otherwise I'm like, oh, what does Nicole have to say about this? Number 2. Death Becomes Her. Whose role have I taken here? Death Becomes Her. This one... Sometimes the photoshopping works well. Other times... It's a little bit more challenging. With women, it's difficult because of the beard. I've done pretty well here. It's not the best one of them all. I will say that. I'd say this is probably the weakest Photoshop job I've done. Definitely not due to wants a print of this. Well, that's... you could. I'll email you the... I'll email it to you, and you can do, honestly, whatever you want with it. That's number 2. Number 3, I didn't put numbers on these, did I? Should I put numbers? Yeah, maybe. Number 3, The Devil Wears Prada. See, this one works a little bit better, even with the beard. I think maybe because the long lady hair is not coming down the side of the face. It's kind of up, which allows space for the beard to come in around the side. So we've got Meryl here, wonderful Meryl Streep. Playing Anna Wintour, or no, the person who's based on Anna Wintour. We've got Emily Blunt here, and she's shocked. Look at that expression, shocked, looking. Oh my gosh, I can't believe Notme is doing a better performance than. Who was I in there? Who have I replaced there? Who have I replaced? So that was 3. So this is number 4. Adaptation. There's Meryl. You can all see that. Who am I playing there? In adaptation. This one's maybe a little bit trickier. She doesn't show up on the poster for adaptation, so you need to have seen the film to know that she was in it. But if you have seen the poster, maybe you know whose role I'm taking. Maybe you'd know that anyway. Who knows? That's number 4. And then number 5. The Deer Hunter. Going old school. This is like 73 or something. 74, something like that. Long time ago. Whose role have I taken there? There's Meryl. There's somebody with a heck of a bow tie and one of those real frilly fronted shirts that you just don't see anymore, do you? You just don't see it. Lovely swoop of brown hair up here. But not me. Could you have improved all of those films? Yeah, I think I could. Yeah. I just got it. You know, if I really knuckle down and try to be an actor, I'm sure I could do it. But then I wouldn't have the time to do this. You know, I wouldn't have the time to bring these kinds of creative thoughts and ideas into your lives. T.B. Douglas, I'd love to watch those versions. Me too. I'd also love to get paid for those versions. Also love to get paid for those versions. So there we go. Those are your 5. Those are your 5. We've got amusing, though. We've got amusing. I think it's a good one. Meryl Streep is known as one of the most versatile actors in the game today. We've seen 5 examples there. Very different characters. Very different characters. But pitch an acting role that would really challenge Meryl Streep. This can be from a pre-existing property, or you can make up your own property if you want. Just give me a role that would really challenge Meryl Streep. And we're not saying that she couldn't do it. We're not saying that she couldn't do it. We're saying, gosh, this would give her pause. Let's say this would give her pause. You think, how am I going to pull this one off? She's going to look in the mirror, say, Meryl, you've done a lot of great work. A lot of awards, a lot of plaudits. A lot of people say you're very down to earth as well with it, which is lovely to hear about. But how are you going to tackle this one? How are you going to tackle this one? Is it going to be your usual method of sleeping on the script, physically sleeping on the script for 2 weeks? Letting the words on that page infuse through the pillow into your brain, into your imaginosphere to allow you to become that person? Is that what you're going to do? Or are you going to do something else? You're going to do the Bruce Willis method. I'll find it on the day. And there we go. Heading back to Maine. Those are all our questions. You survived, guys. You survived. Well done. Let's get some more of that EDM music to celebrate. Let's get some more of that EDM music. Survived those questions. Proud of you guys. Now, it's at this point of the... let's take it right down. It's at this point, well played, says Killer Kilch, and I couldn't help but agree. It's at this point of proceedings that I like to give you a little artistic reward for getting through the questions. And I'll say this week it was tough. It was difficult because of my illness. I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And then swooping in like an angel of delight with her wings made of solid meatloaf, compacted with some onions and other savory seasonings, was your friend and mine, your girl Sarah Kilch. She sent me a photo. The photo was accompanied by the following. Hello, Notme. It's your girl Sarah Kilch. Just wanted to share this piece of art I found on the side of Gerald Ford Road in Palm Springs, California. Guys, I dream of you guys sending me art that you see about. I know it doesn't happen. I know there's a lot of things that are going on in your lives, but I dream of every day waking up to streams of emails for people thinking of me even when I'm not doing livetainment. I dream of that. And that at the end of each week we could have a little like Tony Hart. We could do a little Tony Hart like gallery. And it could go across all bum ba-dim 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 boom ba-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Look at this piece of art. Ding-ding-ding-ding. Finger painting. Ding-ding-ding. Ding-ding-ding. It's Pepper Saw. Ding-ding. has done a rendering of Optimus Prime. This next one's from Sosa Flow. He's used an old yogurt pot and created out of it a rendering of your friend of mine, Ludacris. Ludacris is changing attire. I think that would be lovely. But I know that there's a lot of things going on. So that's what made it even more delightful that I received this from your girl, Sarah Kilch. She's seen some art out on the road in Palm Springs, California. Taking the picture out, snip, snap, snap. I'm going to send that to Notme with a thoughtful note as well. Excuse me. It is a full bottle of Mexican Coke lying on the desert sand. Although it has been discarded, parentheses, intentionally or not, I don't know, it is still full of potential and unblemished. I questioned whether or not I should get out of the car and capture the bottle as my own, but I felt it would bring good fortune to others, so I left it where it is. A lot going on there, and I love all of it. I think we're going to try to zoom and enhance. And we're going to try and zoom and enhance. There we go. There's the bottle of Mexican Coke. Now, those who aren't in America, maybe even some in America, might be questioning, well, what's Mexican Coke here? What is Mexican Coke? Why is Mexican Coke different to normal Coke? A lot of people say Mexican Coke is superior because in Mexico, they have stuck with cane sugar as a sweetener, whereas in the 1980s, America moved to high fructose corn syrup, slightly more artificial taste for their sweetening to make... now, obviously, US Coke is still amazing, and I'm often shaking as I pour it down my gullet, but Mexican Coke just has a little bit more of a natural flavour, a little bit sweeter in a more pleasing way to the palate. And what this says to me is that this is art in and of itself. So, your girl Sarah Kilch has sensed that and really gone forward with it in a really powerful way. Art, SJPX72, Warhol-esque, absolutely, has used something that everybody can understand, a bottle of Coca-Cola, and has used it to create a very worthwhile piece of art. Oh, lovely stuff, guys. Lovely work. This is tremendous. Because, of course, art is subjective, yeah? And what we can learn from this... I Am SmART the Notme quiz, the most incredible thing in the world, currently, according to this, being watched by 11 people. Billions of people not watching it. Not even perturbed that they're not watching it. Yeah? Because they're choosing not to. Because they don't they're not recognizing how incredible this is. A lot of people just discarded when this is a superior bottle of Coca-Cola. This has had to be imported from another country. It's that powerful. Much like one of my biscuits, a lovely malted milk, has to be imported from another country. Oh, where does that happen? That's not green. Imported from another country, those other foodstuffs brought in. Meant so much to some people to import it from another country, means so little to somebody else. And this says, hey. Just because if you go out there and you do some art, you make some artworks, and you put your heart and soul into it, you try your hardest, and it still ends up discarded on the side of the road, that doesn't mean that it's not good. That means that this is just waiting to be discovered by somebody else, yeah? And that's something that I really believe in. So Sarah Kilch, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sending that in for me, for giving us this. I think the EDM's too much. We're going to go back to chill. Thank you so much for giving me something to talk about in this little section here. Pepper Sore's gone. Farewell, Pepper Sore. Thank you so much for hanging with us for even a short time. Should we do some answers? Let's do some answers. What did we do first? We did Nart first, didn't we? Yeah, baby. Let's do some Nart. The musing was you are gifted the ability to shapeshift into any big cat at will. Which big cat do you pick, and how do you use your newfound ability? Guys, don't say it out loud. Don't whisper it into a shell. I want you to do one thing with that musing. I want you to get it in the chat. Yeah? I want you to get it in the chat. As we go through the answers to these questions. Q1. Which big cat is the biggest big cat? Biggest big cat is the tiger. The tiger. They are honestly humongous. So well done if you got that one right. Lord. Number 2. Which big cat is the fastest land mammal? You know it. I know it. It is the cheetah. It is the cheetah. It's maybe an easy one, but still demonstrates prior knowledge, which is the whole point of it. Well done if you got that one right. The Greeks and the Romans believed the giraffe to be a freak hybrid between a camel and which big cat? That is the leopard. The leopard gets to be a freak hybrid between a camel and a leopard is a giraffe. You're crazy, Greeks and Romans. You're absolutely crazy, but I love you guys. I love you. Thanks for roads and democracy. Number 4. All of these names refer to the same species of big cat except one. What's the odd one out? The odd one out is the lynx. All the others, the cougar, the puma, the mountain lion, and the panther, all refer to the same one. All refer to the same one. Again, this is kind of like a Meatloaf situation. Different people with different ideas for what things should be called. I don't know what my favorite is of the others. Puma. I like the sound of it, and I like their sporting goods. So maybe that would get the nod for me. Which perfume company makes Obsession the scent used by scientists and conservationists the world over to entice big cats for study? Calvin Klein. Obsession by Calvin Klein. Lovely work there if you got that one right. Let's head back to the musing. You're gifted the ability to shapeshift into any big cat at will. Which big cat do you pick and how do you use your newfound ability? What have we got? What have we got? TB says a snow leopard. I would admire myself and use my tail as a scarf. That's an interesting concept. Using your own tail as a scarf. Is that done by any animals? If it's getting particularly cold? I mean, a lot of tails, I suppose, wouldn't necessarily... Unless you're thinking, well, this is some kind of... some unlimited source for big cat tails. Because one would assume the rules would be if you transformed into a big cat and say one of your legs gets cut off, when you transform back into a human, you ain't got no arm. There's a tail, what are you going to lose with that? So you could transform into a big cat, get your tail cut off, transform back into a human, you've just got a big cat tail there. A big cat tail. Back into a big cat, bang. You'd have unlimited, you could be like the Cruella de Vil of snow leopard tail fashion. That works really well. And admiring yourself, they're beautiful animals. They're beautiful animals. They are white as well, so maybe not accusing anybody of anything, but just spend some time with that. Make sure that you're not picking it because it's white. One man's opinion. Definitely not Duda goes with a lion. They're my niece's favourite, so I would turn into one to play with her. Very, very good. Although you would fall into run the risk with lions of, obviously you'd be that much larger than them. It's the same thing that any, Superman or whatnot in his everyday life as newspaper reporter Clark Kent. If he's walking through a door, he has to really treat it very delicately. Otherwise, he'd just destroy the door handle. And you could very easily destroy your niece by playing with them as a lion. So you would have to be very careful with that. Just gingerly. Hey, how you doing, niece? You can jump on me, maybe. I won't jump on you. Because, as I say, I'm really sizable. And there's not a huge amount of dexterity in those paws. Not a huge amount of dexterity in those paws. So, fingers crossed, your niece keeps her life. SGOBEX72, lions so I can scare people. I mean, they're up there, aren't they? They're really terrifying guys. Every single nature documentary I've ever seen about them, The male lions look the most scary. Absolute lazy guys. Really, really cannot be bothered with it. But they've got that roar. They are almost literally all bark and no bite. And I think I respect that. It's the artifice. It's the performative aspect of being scary that lions have perfected. You know, it's all mouth and no trousers is another phrase that would go along to describing lions. All mouth and no trousers. Very much like people complaining about things on the internet. You know, they talk a big game, absolutely, but when it comes to actual actions, nothing. You know, very much the lions of the World Wide Web. That's an interesting concept. Killer Kilch Jaguar. I would learn to drive one. Driving a Jag as a Jag, again, very difficult. Not a lot of dexterity in those paws. Be pretty much as difficult as learning to drive a Fiat Panda as a panda. Both of them, of course, quite small, quite compact. Maybe a better goal would be to turn into a dog called Rover, learn to drive a Land Rover. Size differential working out a little bit better with that. Nana Hobart goes Jaguar as well. Use my ability to confound my owners with expensive maintenance costs. Your owners as you, Nana? Or as the cat you would be owned by somebody? That's an interesting concept. I would use my ability to confound my owners with expensive maintenance costs. I mean, it would be very expensive, I imagine, to keep a big cat. Very expensive to keep a regular cat. They're always pooing in the litter. One can't even bear to think about the kind of litter tray one would need for a Jaguar. So maybe it's just that. But again, it's that owners thing. But you know what, guys? Do you know what? Points all round. Well done, everybody. That was lovely. Lovely work. What do we get next? RT Spotlight. Musing-wise, Meatloaf's most successful song was 1993's I Would Do Anything for Love, But I Won't Do That. You know, heart of hearts, what is the that Mr. Loaf won't do? Get it in the chat, guys. Very tickly throat here. I apologize wholeheartedly. Oh, that throat. Question number 1, Meatloaf. I'm going to get rid of this music if that's okay. I am finding it slightly off-putting. Question number 1, Meatloaf is in 4 musicals over the course of his career. Name any of them. Hair, Rainbow, The Rocky Horror Picture Show, and The Pick of Destiny. Hair, Rainbow, and The Rocky Horror Picture Show were all before he became particularly famous as a singer. The Pick of Destiny, the Tenacious D movie musical, was once he became famous, he was, I believe, the father of Jack Black's character. So well done if you got that one right. But you get points for any of them. Any of those musicals. Number 2, Meatloaf's most famous album eventually became a trilogy of albums. What is its name? Bat Out of Hell. Very simple. Like a bat out of hell, let me gone when the morning comes. Like a bat out of hell, I'll be gone, gone, gone. Like a bat out of hell, I'll be gone when the morning comes. Which goddess of pop provided the vocals for Meatloaf's 1981 hit Dead Ringer for Love? It was Cher, the goddess of pop herself. Cher. Show. Dead Ringer for Low. Well done if you got that one right. That was, I think, maybe the trickiest one of them all. Yeah, this one at least, it's multiple choice. Meatloaf was associated with several bands across his career. Which of these names have I made up? The Stone Lights, the Neverland Express, Popcorn Blizzard, Floating Circus, or Meatloaf Soul? The answer is the Stone Lights. No idea where that band name came from. I sat down, had to come up with a thing. Just this like weird concept that I came up with of like lights made of stone. I was like, Doesn't sound crazy. Stone, some kind of like rock thing, or rock lights. I don't know. Who knows where these ideas come from? Who knows where they come from? The imaginosphere, I suppose. The imaginosphere. So yeah, he was in a band called the Neverland Express. Popcorn Blizzard. It's a wonderful name for a band. Floating Circus and Meatloaf Soul. Wonderful names. And number 5, the final question of this round. Meatloaf had a prominent role in the movie Fight Club. What was his character's first name? It was Bob or Robert. Robert Paulson was his full name. So if you wrote down Paulson, I think you get a crock point for that. It doesn't count towards the final thing. It does give you a little bit of swagger for the rest of the day. Crock point for Paulson. But Bob or Robert will get you the point there. Well done if you got any of those right. Hopefully you knew a little bit more about Mr. Loaf than you realised at the beginning. Meatloaf's most successful song, 1983, is I Would Do Anything for Love, But I Won't Do That. Heart of Hearts, what was that Mr. Loaf won't do? Killer Kilt says, cook you a meatloaf. I imagine he got asked a lot. Of times. Hey, Mr. Loaf. Hey, Meatloaf, do you want to cook me a meatloaf? Am I coming over for dinner? Could you cook me a meatloaf? And he'd say, guys, I'd really rather not. I'm not going to cook anything because I'm a rock star, so I'm going to get either takeaway or my personal chef to cook me something. I'm not going to cook you meatloaf. Would you ask... This is going to be tricky now. I set myself up for this one now, haven't I? Would you ask the Earl of Sandwich to cook you a sandwich? That was bad. Would you ask... No, I haven't got it. But would you ask it? That crumbled. That crumbled like a poorly constructed meatloaf. T.B. Douglas, get a tattoo of his partner's face prominently on his arm. Yeah, he wouldn't do that. She says, please, I think it'd be really romantic. Because then I'd be able to kiss my own face, typical woman, on your arm. He says, no, baby, I'd do anything for love, but I won't do that. Also because then as I age and my skin loses its elasticity, your face will become sagged. And sad, a sad reminder of the aging process. It'd be like a kind of picture of Dorian Gray, perhaps. Maybe if then his partner stays youthful and vivacious, and the arm tattoo just gets kind of really gross. And then I haven't read that book, but I assume it ends badly. Definitely not Tudor. Han So, his partner and outfit. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a seamstress, does he? Doesn't seem like a seamstress. Seems like he's got big... He doesn't have hands. He's not the kind of person who has hands, Meatloaf. He's the kind of guy who's got mitts. He's got big mitts, and he's not going to use them to thread a needle and hand sew an outfit. No way, baby. At the very least, he's going to use a sewing machine. He might not be able to thread a needle, but he can certainly attach his own bobbin. Nana Hobob, vote Democratic. Getting a bit political there, and I'm not going to tell you not to do that. I'm quite a fan of that. I think that's great. Brings it into means that I can put a little political tag on this, and people say, "Oh my gosh, this is a dangerous, provocative show to watch." Vote Democratic. He wouldn't do it. Loves his guns, loves his freedom, hates the government. Don't take my money. I've earned my money. Super Nash18, hello to you. Give his mum 3 rings when he gets in from a visit. Yeah, I don't think he would. I think he's too rock and roll for that. He's like, do you know what? I'm not going to do that, mum. And then, because that's quite nice as well, because everybody else is taking it to be romantic love. But you've taken it to be the very tender, the very underappreciated, in rock music at least, love between a mother and her son. He says, "Mother, I love you. But I'm not going to give you 3 rings when I get in. Just trust. Also, I'm Meatloaf. I'm a big tough dude. Nothing bad's going to happen to me." pre-COVID, obviously. And SJBeck72, take the bins out. He's going to get someone else to take the bins out. He's a rock star. He makes 12-minute rock songs. He's not going to... Yeah, that's great. Points all round, guys. Points all round. Killer Kilch, Chris Pine to spray your bathroom. That's good. That's good. You wouldn't get Chris Pine to spray your bathroom. You wouldn't get... Oh, that's going to be a good one. There's going to be a good one somewhere. If we can't think of it during the show, I'll put it on my Instagram stories or something, because I think we need that. I think we need it. Notme Wood, heading to Notme Wood for the final round. The musing was pitch an acting role that would really challenge Meryl Streep. Guys, get it in the chat. Get it in the chat, please. I want you to come up with a role that would really challenge her. Really give her something to sink her teeth into. Really sink her teeth into. As we go for the questions here. Question 1. Meryl Streep was in The Prom. Wonderful film. My God, what a progressive film that is. And I was taking the role of Mr. James Corden. Mr. James Corden, your friend and mine, James Corden, playing a gay character, even though he is not gay or American. He's playing an American character, even though he's not American. He was playing a very talented character. But he is very talented, so that one checks out at least. Well done if you got that one right. Death Becomes Her. Very simple. It was, of course, your friend and mine, Ms. Goldie Hawn. Ms. Goldie Hawn. Look at that pallid skin on her. Pallid skin. A powerful argument against the folly of vanity, that film. And quite funny as well. And if you've never found, I will say, if you've never raised one of your eyebrows because of how attractive Meryl Streep is, maybe give that one a watch. You might be surprised. Here we've got The Devil Wears Prada. I am taking the role, of course, of Ms. Anne Hathaway. I could never, Anne, match your level of theatre school energy. Lovely stuff. So relatable is Anne. Number 4, we've got adaptation. Adaptation here. Whose role have I taken? I have taken the role of Mr. Nicolas Cage. One of the Nicolas Cages in the film. There are actually 2 Nicolas Cages in the film. 2 Cage for the price of 1. That's what makes it such a great film. One of the reasons. Also Chris Cooper. And then finally, The Deer Hunter. This one may have tripped a couple of people up, because you think, oh, who's in The Deer Hunter? The main person, Bobby De Niro. But I've not taken the role of Bobby De Niro here. I've taken the role of Mr. Christopher Walken, a young Christopher Walken. This is really the role that put Christopher Walken on the map of a lot of people's favourite actors. And with great reason. He is sublime in it. Absolutely fantastic. Although I will say, if you're watching this film because you're a big fan of deer hunting, not a lot of it in there. Not a lot of it in there at all. Well done if you got any of those right. 1 point for each correct answer there. Pitch an acting role that would really challenge Meryl Streep. Let's see what we've got. Definitely not Duda. Meatloaf. I mean, she would struggle. To convey the man's anarchic energy. I don't think we've really seen that from Meryl yet. His lust for life. I mean, I think she maybe be able to, but just the man's heft. I mean, he was a big lad. It'd be interesting to see Meryl really tackle that. I couldn't agree more. T.B. Douglas, Rocky. I think she'd find it hard to bulk up enough. Again, it's the physical transformations that are going to be tricky. She's never been known as a Christian Bale type. A Christian Bale type who wants to disappear into the physicality of a role. Generally speaking, she is Meryl Streep. A Meryl Streep-looking character with maybe a funny wig. But Rocky, I think would be difficult. Could she do it? Yeah, she's Meryl Streep. Killer Kilch, I think an ape from Planet of the Apes could be a challenge. Yeah, I think it could be difficult. For her. what would give me hope that she would be able to do it, what gives me hope that she would be able to do it, is Helena Bonham Carter was a fantastic ape in the remake of Planet of the Apes with Mark Wahlberg, where Mark Wahlberg plays someone who's clever enough to be an astronaut. But if Helena Bonham Carter can do it, I think Meryl Streep can do it. It'd be interesting to speak to Helena and say, how difficult was it to act in this film? That was directed by, who is it directed by? Who directed Helena Bonham Carter in Planet of the Apes? Who was it? Tim Burton. Yeah, so it would have been a bit of a challenge for her. But Meryl Streep, I imagine, would be able to absolutely smash it. SJ Beck 72, Marge Simpson live action version. My word. SJ Beck 72, you just dropped a little bomb off there, and you didn't even worry about it. It wasn't even a thing. Just crumbs off your shoulder. Just dropping in the concept of a live action The Simpsons movie. Oh, Meryl Streep as Marge. Perhaps. Who would be a good Homer? My goodness, you sent me down a whole different avenue here, SJ Beck 72, and I thank you for that. Marge Simpson, I think that would be a challenge for anybody. I think for any real person to embody a character that we've spent the last 30 some odd years laughing along with every season being absolutely as good as the last. That'd be very tricky indeed. Now, how about Violet Weston? Now, I'm going to have to look up this one, because I don't know who Violet Weston is. Violet Weston. Character analysis. August Osage County. She's already played by Meryl Streep. Oh, Nana. You say that it was a big challenge for her. You say she could do very well. Oh, Nana. That's pretty sneaky, pretty cheeky. But having not seen August Osage County, I couldn't necessarily comment further on that. But wow, Nana, that's great work. Definitely, you're right to drop those emotes. Lovely stuff. Points all round. Yeah, points all round. Guys. Points all round. Let's head to Maine. So you've got all the points that you're going to be getting, guys. All of the points that you're going to be getting. Right? Wrong. Minute to win it. It's the most... it's the most exciting minute in quiz show history. I like to make this one a bit topical. I like to work with what comes out of the news. Obviously, the news this week dominated by the terrible crisis happening in the Ukraine at the moment. And I thought, you know what? That's maybe not appropriate topic, not appropriate fodder for a minute to win it. Jesus. How you doing, pal? Looks cheeky. So I thought, well, what's the antidote? What's the opposite to that? And a lot of people, when we're going through these kinds of terrible situations, they relax into the world of music. Yeah? They relax into the world of music. So I thought a topic, definitely not due to Mrs. Jesus. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you guys to read what's in my mind, because I've put an answer here. I've put an answer here on the light box, and you just need to guess as many times as you want what's in there. What word have I put there? And the word is a musical term. This could be a genre. This could be a more technical musical thing about the creation of music. It's not a musical artiste, I'll give you that. But let's get going. Countdown, and I'm going to find you a Jesus. Well done, everybody. Combra. Choreography, tap, treble clef. Maybe let's go for some... Look at this. 40 seconds left. Could be musical genres. Dance music says killer. Adagio says killer. Lovely stuff. Rap, grime, hip-hop, classical, drama. Here we go. Synthesized. That's lovely. Ooh. Last couple of seconds. Here we go. As we see if anybody managed to get the right answer. Dubstep. Killer Kilch picks up the double point bonus. Dubstep. I'm down with the kids, guys. Modern music. I've got it. I do it. Well done, Killer Kilch. Extra 2 points. So whilst you tally up your scores, guys, I want to remind you that in this quiz, you're only competing against yourself, okay? There's no point threshold to being smart. If you've got all the questions right that you realistically could have been expected to get, then you are smart. Art doesn't become successful because of the opinions of others or box office numbers or whether someone's strewn it about on the side of the road like the Mexican Coke that you girl Sarah Kelch brought up earlier. It becomes successful when you say, yeah, this is great. I'm proud of this. So if you think your performance today was great, then it was great. No two ways about it, and you are smart. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, not live, make sure you write down your score. Oh, I need to turn on the chat box, don't I? Make sure you write down your score and your musing answers in the comments below. I would love to hear how you did. How are we doing, guys? How are we doing? Definitely not two got in there beforehand with 15. Very powerful. Nana Hobbob 11. TB Douglas 11. Wowzers. Killer Kilch with 18. Well done, you. SJ Beck 72 12. Double digits, SJ Beck 72. Double digits. Smashed it. Supernatural 810. Well done. Everybody hit double digits? No worries if you haven't. If you're still dropping in your scores. There's only 6 people playing. There's only 6 viewers left. Yeah, I guess so. Wowzers. Whoop indeed, SJ Beck 72. But that does mean that the high point scorer this week was Killer Kilch. Well done, Killer. Next week you get to choose whichever round you want from the available rounds, or because we are getting into a situation now where it seems to be similar people winning, you do have the option of nominating. You can gift that responsibility to somebody else if you so choose. It is entirely up to you, but definitely not Duda. I agree with you. I think you are smart, and as a reward, as a general reward for everybody, here's Jesus. Oh, he's disappearing. Do you think they're smart, Jesus? Do you think they're smart? Oh, thank you. That's lovely. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, Jesus. You girls there put Iris to bed. I think she would have got 16. Wowzers. Give to TB Douglas. Okay. I mean, TB's won it as well. That's absolutely fine. Thank you very much, guys, for joining me. I hope my malady, my illness has not impacted things too much for you. Thank you very, very much for joining me. I do appreciate you spending your Sundays with me, as ever. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned a little something, and I hope you felt creative all at the same time. Baby. I am not me. I am art. I hope you'll join me next time, same place. We'll have another opportunity to improve your art and say to yourself, yes, I am smart. Cheers, guys. Goodbye.
So there we go, and well done you, whatever your score might be. I definitely think that you are smart, though Prob's not as smart as me. Your art will be better, trust me on this, should be nothing short of sublime. That's why you learn, and don't stop now, I'll see you right here next time. I am smart.